what our recent popes have helped us to see is that we don't need to go to the other side of the world to proclaim the gospel. That our mission field now is right here in our backyard. It's in our families, it's in our schools, it's in our neighborhoods, it's on our college campuses. And it's this mission that we're called to.
SPO exists to point to and walk students through what Jesus calls the narrow way, that narrow way which leads to life that so very few find.
The college years are a critical time in a young person's life. There's decisions that young people make between the ages of 18 and 24, 25 that have huge impact for the rest of their life.
College can be a very difficult time with a lot of different cultural forces swaying for the hearts of our young people, and SPO directs them to Christ.
Even Catholic young people who are going to church, they might go to church, but they find no connection between what they experience for 1 hour on Sundays and the whole of the rest of their life.
And that's where we see ourselves coming in. SPO inserts itself onto college campuses to be an agent of renewal, an agent of hope, an agent of change.
SPO provides a very unique faith service to our young Catholic men and women. When a young man or young woman decides to go off to a college or university, those natural links to parish and family that kind of hold the faith practice together, those are stretched, if not sometimes broken. Well, you need some kind of a link to the church. And SPO really provides that, and they provide it in an extraordinary way.
I mean, the reality is that many, many young people will never cross the threshold of the campus ministry office or the Newman Center. If we're going to reach them with the faith, we need to go to the places where they live, the places where they study, the places where they recreate, the places where they socialize. And this is what's at the heart of our method, to engage young people relationally in the places that they're at, and then in the context of those relationships, witness to this life of faith.
You know, everyone in college is looking for something to belong to, some place to be, to call their own. And I remember, like it was yesterday, when I was first invited to come to a St. Paul's Outreach event. It was at that event that I saw the life, the fruit, kind of a fire and a zeal that the St. Paul Outreach people had, and I wanted it. I wanted to be a part of it.
I met this girl named Annette, and she was so warm and friendly, and she started telling me about St. Paul's Outreach and about the house that she lived in of Catholic women. And I had dinner with her and the women, and it was great because they just really wanted to get to know me, you know, and they were real with me and genuine, and I loved it.
It isn't the program that really changes people's lives. What changes people's lives is the culture or the environment that we create on college campuses, of people coming together in genuine, committed love of God that's expressed in their love for one another.
Well, SPO's most evident fruit is the number of young men and women who are living their vocations in the church, whether that's in marriage or priesthood or religious life. But a second fruit is we don't know the ways in which SPO, a fan into flame retreat or a Bible study effort or simply a spaghetti dinner in one of the households may plant a seed that in a year now, or 2 years, or 5 years might come to fruition.
The accounting world is just another mission field, and that's really, really exciting to start that and to be able to bring Christ to my future co-workers.
I think I was missing something, and that something was really good friendships. And those friendships are something that I found through SPO. We can really talk to each other about how we're doing in life, and we can be accountable to one another to become better people, to become better mothers and better wives and better friends. That's at the core of what SPO teaches. It's this pathway to get us living a life of virtue that ultimately leads us to heaven.
I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher and I'm a coach. And that calling was made clear to me during my prayer life, which SPO so helped me form in the very beginning.
I entered into an environment with other Catholic young people where I had freedom to be able to discuss these important questions about my vocation. And it's difficult to imagine how I could have responded to the vocation if I didn't have that environment, which I found first in St. Paul's Outreach.
SPO was a great foundation. It taught me to go out of myself, to reach out to others instead of just waiting for them to come to me. It taught me how to disciple people patiently and loving them one step by one step towards the kingdom. So SPO had a big impact on my pursuit of the priesthood.
Well, it's just fun when young people are together and they're together in ways that are filled with goodness, you know. We did a lot of things in St. Paul's Outreach, from, you know, Bible studies to small groups to studying the catechism, but we also played a lot of ultimate frisbee and had a lot of picnics and even some pretty good water fights.
I remember playing Capture the Flag with SPO, and they do have their moments of bliss and fun too, yes. And practical jokes in households are always fun. So, yeah, play hard and pray hard. It's a good motto. Adopt that one, SPO. Play hard and pray hard.
I actually think that SPO helped me quite a bit learn a little bit of the culinary arts. I mean, when I was back in household, I had to cook.
You are a good cook.
So, I mean, I would learn how to cook many different variations of ramen noodles and Kraft macaroni and cheese.
One of the other great gifts that St. Paul's Outreach gives is formation, and that's really essential. If anyone, for example, is going to live a Catholic marriage and pass on that faith to their children, they need that mature formation, and St. Paul's Outreach is providing that.
My formation as a Catholic, I owe SPO. I'm so grateful that I have a prayer life, that I can share that prayer life, that it was okay for me to learn how to do that when I was in college. And I want everybody here to learn how to love God like that. And I've been able to teach my children that, and to teach these kids that. And what a gift that is to me.
Where I'd like to see St. Paul's Outreach in 5 years from now is faithful to its mission, but more expansive in its outreach. We have a simple, very core message. It's how do I bring the Paschal Mystery into the life of college students? And I think we do that very well, and we need to maintain a focus on that, but to do so in a way that grows to college campuses across the country.
I would like every young person who goes off to a college campus to have the opportunity to find a dynamic, Catholic, faith-filled environment.
I'm on this campus where there's so many people who are just blind and who don't know Christ. And so I think coming to the organization and the zeal and excitement to evangelize, I think with that there's sort of this sadness of, I just wish everybody could know. I wish everybody could know. But thanks to St. Paul's Outreach, there is hope. There is hope for us on college campuses everywhere.
SPO's greatest need is that young people would respond generously with their time, with their availability, with the zeal of their youth, and that people who have been blessed financially would respond with generosity to help power this mission.
Of course, whenever someone wants to give their money to an organization, they want to know that it's going to go where the greatest need is. And it is difficult to think of a place in terms of the need for the Catholic Church. It's difficult to think of a more needy place than our college campuses. In terms of spiritual poverty, this is a place where there's real spiritual poverty.
As a business person, we always talk about return on investment. I don't know if that's an appropriate way to think about an investment in SPO. There's a kingdom return, not measured in dollars, maybe not measured in emotion, maybe not measured really in what I receive, but it's a blessing to know that we are supporting something that furthers the kingdom of God, and that's an investment that has an eternal return that really can't be compared to any other kind of return.
As far as I'm concerned, support for SPO is support for the next generation of Catholics.
And when I think about the work of St. Paul's outreach, when I think about my marriage, when I think about my children, when I think about the 25 years that SPO has given to our church, I am so hopeful. I am so filled with gratitude for what will happen in the next 25 years.
The gospel must be proclaimed. Someone must go to bring them the good news of Jesus Christ and His church. And if we don't go, who's going to go?